Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we continue on with the next fight. We have Jenarten Radhakrishnan versus Terenz. We are back here at Octagon Asia Fighting Championship. My name is Danial Chee, and with me right here is Brian James Victor. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Daniel. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, especially to commentate this fight.
So we have Jenarten Radhakrishnan in the Red Sox, and we have Red Sox, red gloves, red corner, and we have Terenz in the blue corner. And yeah, this is more of a is it a striker versus a grappler?
Well, I would like to say so, honestly. Being that Jenarten has always been much of a striker in most of his fights, and seeing Terenz, he's always utilized his BJJ skills in most of his fights, especially coming off his armbar. Was it an armbar victory in his last fight?
Yeah, in the preliminary round, he managed to score an armbar against his opponent for the tryout. But there we go. So far, really good striking being showcased here by Terenz.
That's right. Both fighters here going equally as well, but I would say Terenz is going in more as of right now. Maybe Jenarten's taking his time, reading his opponent's skill sets, his moves, and whatnot.
What is your opinion? Well, knowing that Terenz is more of he's more of a highlighted grappler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is coming off so far with a striking stance against Jenarten. Is that a good idea?
Well, it's hard to say, honestly. Maybe Terenz would like to test his skills, but as of right now, he seems like he's preferring to stand up, right?
Yeah, oops, big left hand there. Now, Jenarten's going on southpaw right here.
Mm-hmm.
Switching stances here.
Jenarten here, I see here, he's always had the ability, he's very comfortable switching stance from orthodox to southpaw. He's always tried to utilize that skill set of his, in most of his fights especially. Huge left hand, right, the Terenz.
Big trades there from both fighters. They continue on. We're halfway through the first round. Terenz now opting to go for the wrestling now. I think that should have been his game plan. This could be his game plan from the very start. Maybe he's just trying to warm up a little bit with a little bit of striking.
Jenarten here looking very calm and composed.
Nice takedown there from Terenz going for the outside leg trip. Yeah, it seems to me right here that Terenz just wants to try to win the rounds off the takedowns. Obviously, he must be trying to, maybe he's trying to go for somewhat of a higher control, or maybe looking for a submission. But as for now, that takedown is really huge for him in this very round.
I would highly agree on that. Then, as he looks like he's totally controlling the top position here from half mount, is it? Oh, to a full guard right now. He's in Jenarten's full guard. Maybe trying to drop some bombs from the top position.
Oh, Jenarten transitioning for an armbar.
Nice. A nice sneaky one from Jenarten. Doesn't look like he's fully guarded in it yet.
I mean, the elbow is not there, so I think it's pretty tight. But it's only 10 seconds left, so I don't think we're going to see Terenz trying to tap from this one. And Jenarten, let's go. And there we have it, round number 1.
A good defense. A good defense, actually, from Terenz from trying to come out of that armbar just now.
But nonetheless, we continue back with the action with round number 2. We have Jenarten in the red gloves, in the red corner, and we have Terenz in the blue. So far, what do you think? How do you phase in that round, in the first round? In the first round,
I'll definitely give it to Terenz, seeing how he scored that takedown with the outside leg trip, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, and controlling the top position, and especially when Jenarten tried to sneak in that little sneaky armbar, you see Terenz there. Defending it well, controlling, not panicking. That's very important, I suppose.
Oh, it's a nice body kick there from Jenarten and into a takedown. Jenarten opting to go for a guillotine, but just slips away. Now Jenarten back down on the ground with Terenz on top. Terenz is gonna, continue to control Jenarten off the top position.
And you see here Terenz is in the half guard of Jenarten. Jenarten controlling pretty well on the ground. He's doing pretty well for a guy who's on the ground, actually.
He's doing okay, but it's not going to be enough. Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the Octagon Asia Fighting Championship is sanctioned under MASMA. That means it is also sanctioned under the rules and regulations of International MMA Federation, which follows very close to the rule set of the UFC. That means ground control leads to a higher amount of points. Takedowns lead to a higher amount of points rather than damage and strikes and aggression of what one championship does with their fights. So this kind of a tactic provided by Terenz is favoring him in this fight due to the way this event is sanctioned.
I see.
Yeah. Because there is a huge difference there. Because like if this fight were to like lean towards the one championship side where they prefer the hyper aggression,
Yeah.
that submission attempt may score quite a lot there for Jenarten. But however, if we were to follow the unified rules, definitely here Terenz would take the charge. But right here, right there, if you didn't just notice what Jenarten just did, that was a Z guard into like a sort of like a shoulder Kimura lock, Americana. I forgot what's the submission called, but he's gonna try that again. So basically, he's putting Terenz's elbow down towards his stomach, and he's trying to crank that and turn it into a shoulder lock. But Terenz read that really, really smart, and he got out of that position. Because if Terenz were to stay in that Z guard, and Jenarten keeps on pulling on that whizzer, he could have popped that shoulder.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, that submission was famously made by Frank Mir. Yeah, against Nogueira.
Yeah. I remember that. I really remember that match. You see, Jenarten, he prefers striking most of the time. I mean, from what I see, he likes striking. He likes standing his ground right in the center of the cage.
And that is the end of the round.
As I was saying, but it seems like his ground game is pretty underrated. Wouldn't you say?
I mean, technically, he doesn't have a belt, but he rolls with a lot of blue belts and purple belts, and you know, but that goes the same for Terenz Tan, because I think Terenz Tan is a blue belt of his own.
Yeah.
So both of them are pretty good on the ground, and they fare well evenly matched. So kudos to Octagon Asia for matching up this fight. But this is the third and final round. What do you think should be going on inside the head of Jenarten?
Right now, if I was in the shoes of Jenarten, I would honestly feel very pressured, seeing that how Terenz was dominating him in the first and second round, being on top, especially after how you explained about the scoring of points, right? On how you take control of the ground game. So if I was Jenarten, I'd really opt to get out of this position, probably stand up a little bit more, try to be a little bit more aggressive with the striking, because from what I see, every time Jenarten throws a few hits that connects, Terenz automatically goes for the takedown.
Yeah, really persistent on the shots.
That's
and
right.
Terenz has been very successful with most of his shots as well. But yeah, third and final round. But right here, I don't understand like why is Jenarten not trying to explode. Like at this kind of position, I understand that your opponent is really tight on you, but being explosive is very crucial once you are down 2 rounds.
That's right.
And coming to a third and final round, and you really need to let all your energy out and just
definitely.
invest everything in this round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after all, it is the last round. You want to give it your all, yeah. But here again, we see Jenarten in the third round, pretty much in the same position as he was in the first and the second round. And if you're talking about points, I think Terenz definitely in the lead here.
No questions about that. I really do think that Terenz have the upper hand, but I think at this point Terenz is just hoping not to get knocked out, because I think that's what Jenarten has to do. He either has to come up with a submission or he has to knock him out.
That's definitely.
And so Terenz is just desperately going for for those shots. Every time Jenarten opts to go for that kick, Terenz immediately on the shot. Now Jenarten defending those shots a little bit better this time.
Yep, definitely. You see Jenarten throwing those big right hands just now. But I really think that he should just try to stay out of the range of Terenz and his takedowns. What do you think about that?
I think it's going to be difficult, because when you are desperate to go for that knockout, you have to overcommit. When you have to overcommit, that is going to leave you open for those shots and those nice body kick there. And now, now Jenarten teeing off on Terenz, also successfully cutting up the head on the right eye of Terenz.
You can definitely see Terenz. Oh, what a nice reversal there by Jenarten.
Final 10 seconds of the third and final round.
You definitely see Terenz playing safe, going for all the takedowns. But after 3 rounds, I feel that Terenz has stuck to his game plan probably that he had with his coaches, and he pulled it off very well.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have Jenarten versus Terenz, and here we have Matt Polino with the official decision. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. And Terenz with the big unanimous decision win over his opponent, and he will be moving on towards the semi-finals. And yeah, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Danial Chee, and here with me is Brian James Victor. You are watching on the Southpaw MMA. Stay tuned to the next fight.